All right, so switching back over to the NFL, some of that goodness. Thursday, Roger Goodell and some select other owners and executives met with civil rights leaders. Those other executives, or team owners, was Roger Goodell himself, evidently. Pittsburgh Steelers president Art Rooney II, Atlanta Falcons owner and chairman Arthur Blank, Arizona Cardinals owner Michael Bidwell, Baltimore Ravens Executive Vice President Ozzie Newson, and the Houston Texans. I never even knew this was a job. Limited partner Javier Loyola, and so all those guys they met with the civil rights leader here. Most notably of the civil rights leaders, because I don't want to go through all of them, was Reverend Al Sharpton and crew. Now, with all that said, we know they met on Thursday, Jay, and we knew what they talked about, which was somehow trying to create more diversity within black hires. And basically, it just sounded like they came to the table and they're trying to force the NFL to figure out a way that's something other than a Rooney Rule to pretty much guarantee, black hires. I would rather it said minorities, but I mean they seem to be stuck on just black hires. So okay, cool. So with that said, without much context coming out the news that we got, Jay, what you took away from this whole situation with the NFL and the civil rights leaders?
I think just up front, this has to be the continued fallout from the Brian Flores lawsuit. Just to be clear about where we're coming from and all this. It's hard to know. It's hard to do more than speculate because we don't really know anything, substantive about what was said. We just know the general, like, the subject of what was being talked about. Hey man, you need to hire more black people. All right. Well, we've been hearing that for weeks now. We've been hearing that for years now. I was actually something. I think it was in that story that the Rooney Rule's been around since 2003. It's 2003, and like it's been in the past couple of years. That's like, man, they just skirting around the Rooney Rule. We've talked about it in length, particularly with Brian Flores and some of the things that he alleged. Like I'm more of the mindset that we've seen it's more bad policy and unprofessionalism than just straight up racism. Is there some bias in the way owners going about and hiring people? Probably so, because the problem I think we both are on the same page is that you got one minority owner and he's in Jacksonville and don't have a clue what he's doing. That there just can be no mistake about that. So when you have that situation going on, you know, if you got, look, what an example was it? Nathaniel Hackett, Eric Bieniemy in Denver, they have, just hypothetical example, they have the same resume, the same credentials and all the rest of it. The white owner might hire the white coach because maybe they speak the same language. We've been through this before, so we know what it is. So I guess the thing is, like, and I've talked about this too. Everyone seems to agree that we need more. I think it's right for you to say minority head coaches, because then we're, that's like real inclusion. Not that, like, obviously the black coaches would be what you're most interested in if you're talking about we want the coaching staffs to look like the workforce, the players. So, I get all that, but I mean, what does that do for Ron Rivera or Robert Saleh, or who I'm guessing, I know we know Ron Rivera is Hispanic. I don't quite know what Saleh is. He seemed like that seemed like a Hispanic name. I don't know, man. I don't get pigeonholed on these type of things. But I guess so. If you're these, from what I read, they're looking for drastic changes. So what does that mean? Does that mean I gotta believe the only conclusion I can come to is if you really want to reach a specific goal, you have to set a specific goal. You have to set a quota. And what quota, for me, what quota is acceptable? Is it 24 out of 32, 75% of the head coaching jobs, black men? what would be acceptable? I don't know. I think, as usual, and I know this might sound like a broken record, but we're focused on the wrong thing. We should be focused on who is the best person, man, in most senses in the NFL. I'd probably say a man for the job, and we're not doing that. And that's why. And I also I don't know if these things are connected, but I did notice that this Roger Goodell civil rights thing happened to break just about. I think that was last night. I saw it via the Associated Press, and then today you have a story about Roger Goodell looking for a contract extension. Oh, you don't say. So Roger Goodell out here, yeah, we need to do better in diversity. Hey, you negotiating a new contract, right? Okay. So I mean, I don't know if one has anything to do with the other, but I will say just optically, Roger Goodell, you just want to keep your job. And obviously, I don't even know, like if you're Roger Goodell, do you really enjoy getting booed every draft day and draft night? Like you have to pick.
I think he do though. It's kind of like I look at it kind of like when I watch Floyd Mayweather fights and he walks into the arena and everybody's booing him, because I'm gonna tell you why. Because if they're there to boo you, they had to pay to get there or whatever. Like if it's free or they pay or whatever. So you think about it, it's the same thing as if they're cheering you, because they're there and they're waiting on you to boo you, just like they would wait on you to cheer for you. So I think he do like it. And before you finish, I do think he deserves to get a new contract, and I think he will get a new contract, because this is the wrong time to be trying to bring in a new commissioner. I don't think you want to do that quite right now, but there's just my 2 cents on that.
To that point, what if you did though? What if you did bring in a black commissioner? Why don't we start there? Like I'm just saying. We talk about black owners all the time. Where the black commissioner at? I'm telling you,
he is the representative of the owner, so I'm not mad at that.
This is the part that really gets on my nerves, and it goes back to when Steve. Look, different sport. This is the NBA, where nobody's really crying about this, especially to this degree with the NFL. But when Steve Nash got hired, he jumped the line in front of everybody, and then he wants to look. Steve Nash gets the job, and then says, "Yeah, man, I'm all about getting more diversity and blah, blah, blah." Well, if you really were, then you wouldn't have taken the job. You would say, "Hello, black people," and everybody qualified that is a different color. Come on in here and go in front of me. That's how you know it's somewhat disingenuous. If you really felt that way, you wouldn't take the job.
Yeah, but in the NBA, because if you say that about Steve Nash, then you got to say that about Jason Kidd, which is part black, because he did the same thing. Derek Fisher, that did the same thing, he is part black. So I don't know.
And I guess so for me, just again, it's an NBA example, so it probably doesn't fit as well. But suppose that let's use kneecaps as an example. Okay. Let's say Dan Campbell gets hired last year in Detroit, and the first thing he's saying is, "Yeah, we need more black coaches." Well, you just took one of the jobs, dummy. You know what I'm saying? So you're not serious, and I don't blame you, because there's 32 jobs. If I'm a qualified applicant that happens to be white, Hispanic, and Asian, I want that job. I'm not concerned about, oh my gosh, we got to give it to black people, because that's what. No, I want that job because I think unless I'm not the best person, but if I'm the best candidate and I believe that and I nailed the interview, I want that job. As usual, I think we're talking about the wrong thing.
Oh yeah. So so here's where I lay with that. First of all, I want to give kudos to Roger Goodell and those owners or executives, the ones that help represent the NFL and that talk to the numerous of civil rights leaders. And because honestly, if the NFL didn't do anything, I think it'll just keep chugging along like it's been. I mean, listen, NFL is the king of sports TV right now. It is what it is. And whether you like the current circumstance, for every fan that stopped watching it for one reason, is another fan that'll start watching it for another reason. So I do respect the fact that the NFL care enough to try to come up with a solution here. Will they come up with one? We don't know. We don't even know what the hell they even talked about in this meeting. But it is possible that something could come out of this. So I do respect that. Also, you know, I just would have liked it if it was like, I like that it was civil rights leader there, but I wouldn't mind seeing a representative for, I don't know, the Hispanic community, a representative for the Asian community. Because my thing is this: if we keep going down this road, we're just making this a black and white thing. And I got it. If you want to say, well, we was the ones in slavery, okay, that's true. But are we really saying that the coaches in the NFL should be just black or white? I don't know. Ron Rivera looked like a damn good coach. He ain't black or white.
Yeah.
So, I'm for the word diversity. Not just for my people, I am for the word diversity. Now, like you said, if it's a thing that, listen, it ain't 70% Hispanic or 70% Asian or 70% Arab. It's 70% black. Okay, I understand that. But if basketball can figure this out with all the black athletes they have playing, and they have a very high number of Europeans playing in the NBA, I just don't understand why can't we figure this out in football. I got it. Football is an alpha male sport, and you need alpha males to lead other alpha males. I got that. But with that said, it's to what you say, it's about the best candidate. It's about the best coach. Let me tell you something. I'm an Alabama fan. University of Alabama. Our head coach has been white since Nick. I can't remember last time we had a black head coach. Either way, the best candidate for the job was Nick Saban. Nick Saban then came in there and broke all type of race barriers. So I just say that to say, just because a coach is white don't mean like the owner doesn't like black people, or the owner doesn't like minorities. It's like you said, it's all about the language. If I walk into a room and it's 3 black people, 3 white people, 3 Hispanic people, 3 Asian people, 3 Arab people, and I had to go and just pick a group of people that I don't know none of these groups, I'm going to the black group. And it's not because I hate the other groups. It's because that's what I feel comfortable with. Now, I might go over there and be like, nah, this ain't it, fam. Y'all ain't cutting it. Let me go ahead and see what the white people talking about.
That's where you're going to start, though, probably.
Right, but that's my origin. That would be my point of origin. It is what it is. Like, but I'm not racist by no means. But for God's sake, I debate with a white guy at least twice a week. Like, I'm huh?
Hello, yes. I can see the same thing in reverse.
Right. So it's not. I'm not racist. It's just what I'm comfortable with. So I feel like we very hyperbolic right now. But at the end of the day, is it about all minorities, or is it just about black people? Is it just about the black coach, the black GM, the black owner? And if it is, so be it. But through my eye lens, what I'm looking at, I'm like, listen, this should be about all minorities. It should be about all races that want to be at the management level of the NFL or the ownership level of the NFL, and so on and so forth. I'm not gonna lie. Some of these crusty white owners need to pack their bags. You talk about Dan Snyder all the time. What's the owner for the Dolphins? You said Steve Ross?
Stephen Ross, yeah.
I can't wait for him to pack his bags. Like this bull crap he got going on. So I'm definitely with the fact that some of them owners don't deserve to be in their spot. That don't mean they're gonna get replaced by minorities though. But they need to be replaced. So we just have to keep our expectations in some type of like reasonable window, I think. And with that said, like I said, kudos to the NFL with meeting with those civil rights leaders. Let's see what comes out of that meeting that they had on Thursday.
How about this? And just to throw this wrench in here, because the whole diversity, equity, inclusion, and all the rest of it, that and you because you've seen it, Drink. I know you have, and this is probably somewhat maybe outside our line of purview, but I'll go there. Drink, remember when they put that first female referee out there and it was a big deal? Was her name Sarah Thomas? Now they got, who do you have? You got some coaches. You got women out there. Drink, that don't square. Drink. There's no women playing. I'm sorry. There's no women playing. So if the goal of this is to get women as head coaches, I'm not understanding it. Drink. Make your own football league. I'm just saying.
Hey, well, I mean, they did have that one kicker for Vanderbilt.
Oh, stop. Please.
What?
No, don't.
It was that happened. That happened.
I know it happened. But I'm saying, really, come on, man. Okay, what she do? She did a onside. She did a squib kick, and did she kick an extra point? What is she? She's doing something else now. She's doing soccer.
She played. She made some soccer team. It's true. Like I'm just saying, it happened.
But don't paint that as like we're seeing the next revolution. We're not. You said it, and you were absolutely correct. This is an alpha male sport. You don't want to. I'm telling you. I'll put you like this. You want your daughter out there competing with grown men? No, you don't. And I don't either. And that's not being sexist. That's not none of that. That's just being honest and understanding the realities that we have differences as men and women. The woman thing, miss me with that.